Hello YouTube monoliths, welcome back to my channel. Thank all my viewers and subscribers for tuning in. Here's the status of my 69 Camaro Super Sport 396. So I'm done with the interior. Just want to show it to everyone before I made it to the body. So you can see why I decided to do two-tone, because originally I wanted to do it black, but having black seatbelt decals, it wouldn't have shown, so I had to do two-tone. But all the decals are in. Hopefully you can see it. It does come with the gear shift knob shift pattern decal, and the dials are all decals. I was able to get the decals onto the oil filter, AC Delco, and all the notice warnings on the radiator support. AC Delco battery, 396, I chose the top horsepower. Okay, so I'm going to start mating everything together. Alright, so here are the three major sub-assemblies, well, two major sub-assemblies. The rolling chassis, still have to put on the torque dish hubcaps, the body with the lights and the wiring hanging out, they'll be shoved in the trunk, and the hood that will be put in. The interior I showed you before, that's the third sub-assembly, but that's part of the body now. Here we are at the final reveal. I am finally completed with the 69 Camaro Super Sport 396. So I just want to thank Dan the Man for hosting his annual Psychedelic 60s group build, and to Vinny for hosting the first gen Camaro group build. So before I reveal, just want to mention that I did miscalculate how much trunk space I had in the Camaro, because it's basically a compact. The last time I tried to stick the wires in the battery was in the 67 Supernatural, but that was a full-size Chevrolet with a lot more trunk space. So there are going to be wires hanging out. So let me shut the lights off. Here is the final reveal. So here is the Camaro in red. I was not able to fit the two power cells into the trunk because the trunk is very small. It's tail lights. This is not an RS with separate reverse lights on the bottom, so I try blocking out the center reverse lights, but that didn't quite work. I think next time I'll have to either use a piece of spare styrene or a piece of cardboard or tape to block off the center light, because the center light is the reverse light. I think the RS has the lights on the bottom. So here it is. Let me turn the light back on. So here we are. It was a good build. I actually broke in these chrome markers I bought from Amazon. This is basically a made in China version of the Molotow, which is made in Germany. These are made in China. They're cheaper. They come with different tips, but as far as application, they roll just as smoothly or even smoother than the Molotow. But the only thing is they don't stay on the plastic as well as the Molotow. But that could be a good thing, because there was a few times I went wide and applied a little too much, but it was very easy to remove with a toothpick. So you can scrape it off much more easier than the Molotow. But I started breaking this in, so it seems to be okay, but you just have to not touch it, because if you nudge it or touch it, even after a day or two after it dries, you're going to lose the sheen, and then it turns into a silver metallic Sharpie-like shade. One other tip too I wanted to tell you about. When I was doing research on the Camaro, I noticed that some of them have blacked out lower rocker panels below the chrome trim. Some do not, so I ended up going with the black rocker panels. Also, some have body color rear taillight panels, and I think the big blocks get the blacked out one, so I just end up blocking it out. But it seems like there was different versions of Camaro styling and options, so I just ended up going for the black and red motif. So I chose a black stripe that was more subtle as opposed to the white hockey stick stripe that was more would stand out more. And I chose the poverty caps or dog dish because I always like the sleeper look over the Chevrolet rally wheels. I'll save the rally wheels for another build. The reason why is because I like sleeper cars, and even though this one has the 396 badging, so it doesn't look as nice as a 4-door full-size sleeper, but I always like that look. And if you guys remember the ZL1, the one with the aluminum 427 Can-Am engine, it also has the same type of hubcaps, so I went with these. I am impressed with the amount of decals they give you, because I was going to add the white lettering, but that's already included. It came with fan belt and radiator identification code decals, and of course the shift pattern. But here it is, all done up. One tip I wanted to tell you was some cars have the amber turn signal lens. These are clear, but the bulb is yellow. So what I did was I just took a toothpick and dotted the inside of the lens with a dot of yellow paint, so it looks like a yellow light bulb. And that was it. So as far as the rear goes, I mean, I can't fit the wiring in, but if you guys wanted to not have the wiring, you can just put in a spare tire, bumper jack, and maybe a crowbar. I'm pretty sure they probably sell 3D resins of it. I think I've even seen the Chevrolet jacking instructions being sold. You could use that for the underside of the trunk lid, and maybe even the GM gray plaid trunk lining or mat that they usually use if you really want to detail it. So that's pretty much it. I just have to remember to pick it up from the front and back and not touch the chrome on the bottom. Let me pause the video and I'll open the hood. Okay, so here's the engine. It has the brace. There's the radiator and fan belt decals. Wired up. The coil is right next to the distributor cap. I had to pretend it was a 90-degree boot because I can't stick it up vertically. And that's pretty much it. So excellent decals. The fit and finish is pretty good. Very tight tolerance. That also means that when you mate the body to the chassis, it's a little bit difficult. You have to spread the body apart. I think some of the parts are new tooling, but the base Camaro model is probably older, because I remember Revell issuing the Z28, the RS version, so probably a lot of the parts are old, but the Super Sport parts are probably new. And that's pretty much it. This side, the hockey stick line came out perfectly horizontal. This one, I wasn't able to get it straight. It kind of dipped down a little bit because the body was smooth and slippery, that the decal was on a slip and slide when I was trying to set it, and then it set too soon before I got a chance to straighten that line out. So it's not perfectly horizontal, but excellent decals. Like it very much. Seat belts though, decals are much easier, but they are very two-dimensional. It's not as good as the photo etch with the seatbelt ribbon. That gives it more depth. This is so flat. And that's it. So take the time out to detail it. It will look nice. Highly recommend this kit. Do like the lighting, but just wish the power source was much smaller. And these alligator clips connectors weren't so big, because then I could have stuck it in the trunk. Stay tuned, and I'll have stills at the end. I'll probably remove the wire, stick them, hide them in the trunk, so you can see what it looks like with the trunk lid closed. So, thanks Dan and Vinny for hosting the 2 separate group builds. Hope you enjoy the build.